Admiral Sarah Chun observed the enormous space station from the viewing deck of the human diplomatic ship. The Galactic Council was housed there. With spires and domes that dwarfed the moon, the station was enormous. Spread in every direction. Ships arrived and departed from dozens of other worlds. Like insects made of metal encircling a huge hive. After attempting for 30 years, humanity had arrived here at last. A dot. On her uniform, Sarah stroked the tiny Earth flag pin. The journey to this point had been lengthy. 50 years ago, humans learnt that it was possible to travel faster than light. They believed. In the cosmos, they were the only ones. Then they discovered the ruins of Voron on Mars. Next followed the initial encounter with the Zephyrian traders in the vicinity of Jupiter. After that, everything was different. Earth was shocked to learn that people were not alone. However, they were even more startled to discover that dozens of sentient species had been cooperating in the Galactic Council for millennia. Humans were the galaxy's infants, the new arrivals. Humans, however, picked things up quickly. They had to. At first, they were despised by the other species. Zephrons, the tall blue ones. Extremely short-lived mayflies for humans. Human thoughts, according to the hegemony's crystal beings, are excessively loud and simplistic. Humans smelt wrong, according to the insect-like Chitauri. Sarah recalled those early times, when council sessions made fun of human diplomats. When human-powered merchant vessels were rejected by main ports, when the council did nothing to defend human colonies under attack. People have to prove themselves. Repeatedly. And they did demonstrate their worth. Issues that had baffled other species were resolved by human engineers. For millennia. Human physicians discovered treatments for illnesses that killed millions of people worldwide. The galaxy. Even the most heartless alien was captivated by the beauty generated by human artists. Hearts. Alongside council forces, human warriors fought against raiders and pirates. Very slowly but surely, the galaxy started to value people. They signed trade agreements. There were cultural exchanges. Human-made technology was. Human ideas were heard and shared. Just when the catastrophe on the outer rim threatened to destroy 3-star systems. Alongside their extraterrestrial partners, human ships had fought and bled. At last, only 6 months. The vote had already taken place. Humanity had been approved as a full member by the Galactic Council. Not as less experienced couples or members on probation, but on an equal footing. That day, Sarah had sobbed as she considered all the people who had perished to get to right now. She was present at the first significant vote since the dawn of humanity. The rights to mine and settle the recently discovered Kepler zone would be determined by the Territorial Expansion Accords. It featured 12 planets that were ideal for human colonization and were abundant in unusual materials. If today went smoothly, and mankind would finally have the space and resources it needed to thrive. Amidst the stars. Lieutenant Torres remarked, "They're ready for you, Admiral Chung." Her assistants. The young man appeared anxious. He was also on the council station for the first time. "Lieutenant, thank you." "How should I look?" Sarah straightened her dress uniform again and requested. "Similar to ma'am, someone who belongs here." Torres smiled slightly in response. Sarah gave a nod and proceeded along the hallways in the direction of the main chamber of the council. There were creatures from all around the galaxy in the corridors. She went by some floating ethereal diplomats with bodas composed entirely of energy. A group of V-shaped Fenrian. In their snarling tongue, dealers argued noisily. Slowly, 2 enormous rock creatures from the heavy worlds descended. The hallway, the floor trembling with every step. But as she walked, Sarah became aware of something. Talk ceased. When she died, beings swiveled to observe her passing. Whispers were heard in languages she was not familiar with. She had not anticipated the emotion in the air. Rather than greeting you, there was stress. The council room was huge. Around a central platform, thousands of seats sprang up in circles. Every one. Each species had an own area with unique environmental regulations. The water-filled aquatic federation. Bubbles. There were superheated sections of the Silicon Collective. The delegation from the ice world sat in extremely frigid areas. Sarah sat down in the human section. There were just 20 chairs for the 20 humans, making it modest in comparison to the others. Colony. Worlds, but it belonged to them. She glanced at the other delegations. Ambassador Vex of the Zephyrian Empire nodded courteously, and waved to a few known faces. Hive Speaker Cliff of. With its antenna, the Chitauri made what could have been a friendly gesture, "Hey." The ancient crystal being's voice rang out as Speaker Korth of the Crystal and Hegemony brought the meeting to order. The future of the Kepler sector is up to us now, like wind chimes through the Chalmers translation system. Declared that there are enough resources in this fertile area of space to help numerous worlds. Sarah sat forward in her seat and said, "The question is, who has the right to claim these benefits? Event that would decide the fate of humanity throughout the galaxy. The Zephyrian Empire makes the first suggestion." Ambassador Vex, please make your point, he went on. The tall, blue Zephyrian stood elegantly. His silver. As he approached the speaking platform, his robes caught the light. Honored council members, Vex said, his voice as silky as silk. For more than 3,000 years, the Zephyrian Empire has faithfully served this council. Years. We possess the knowledge and experience necessary to grow the Kepler industry effectively. We suggest assuming administrative authority over sectors 1 through 4. Several delegations expressed support. Sarah scowled. Sectors 1 to 4 had the top 3 planets for human habitation, but this was only the beginning. Proceed. Other animals would make their bids as well. The crystalline hegemony declared Speaker Suar without even claiming sectors 5 through 8. Getting up from their seat. More muttering, but of course. The mineral-rich regions were always claimed by the hegemony. One by. The Chitauri desired the asteroid belts, and the main powers made their claims first. The waterworlds were claimed by the Aquatic Federation and the Heavy World Alliance. Acquired the high-gravity planets. Sarah waited for her turn to speak each